Hey, welcome to PNW Enduro. Today I'm going to talk about why I'm getting rid of GoPro cameras and what I'm going to use instead. So I've owned 4 GoPro cameras. I owned a GoPro 5, 7, 9, and the newest one, which is the 11. This is the only one I have left, which is the 9. It's in the media mod. I've had issues with all 4 GoPro cameras. So the 5 I would have freezing issues and have to remove the battery to get it going again. The stabilization, although cutting edge at the time, was not quite up to par. So the GoPro 7 was a lot better with stabilization, but it eventually kind of stopped working. Like some clips would have stabilization working and some would not. Moving on to the 9, this was probably the best camera I've had from GoPro. The least amount of issues. Stabilization is pretty good. Audio is totally garbage unless you have the media mod. With the media mod, I have to admit, it's very good audio and no wind noise, so I was pleased with that. The issue I had with this one was occasional freezing and then just randomly turning off. So the new GoPro Hero 11, I had issues with the audio. I had one whole day of recording where the video was there, but there was no audio on any of the clips. And for me, that was kind of the last straw. It wasn't an important recording day for me, but if it was, I would have been pretty upset. So I had to look for alternatives. One last thing I'll mention with the GoPro 9 and the 11 is every time I went to use it, I would have to reset the date and the time. So that was kind of annoying. So onto the new camera. This is the DJI Osmo Action 3. I've used this a handful of times. I'm really pleased with it so far. I'm going to show you some footage with this camera and I'm going to talk about what it does better for me. Basically, I need a camera that I can rely on, and the DJI is more reliable than the GoPro. I believe that the performance of this camera is at least on par with the latest GoPro Hero 11. So I'll show you some footage. Okay, first test, DJI Action 3 camera. Check my camera angle and see how the audio is. I'm using just the camera mic, and then I'm going to plug in the external microphone and see how that does as well. The mounting system on the DJI camera is really cool. It's a magnet system, but it also clips into place. See, the magnet just goes in there and it just kind of clips into place. It's really secure. But what I really like about this is how this comes off of the camera like that. So what that means is I can take this camera off anytime if I want to set up shots on the tripod, or I'm just taking it off because I'm done for the day. And this stays on my helmet and it stays in exactly the same place on my chin mount. So the camera angle never changes. There's no guesswork. I love that about this camera. forgot my trailbound bar pad today, so every time I want to stop and take a picture, I got to pull the phone out of the backpack. Have to remember to throw it in with my gear bag so I don't forget it again. Wow, it's amazing. There's no snow right in here. There's usually a patch of snow. Last time I did this trail, it was, I think mid-August. I'll have to look it up. It's definitely in August, and here we are, beginning of July, already no snow. And wow, a lot of bugs. Better get moving. Okay, let's go over the comparisons between the DJI Osmo Action 3 and the GoPro 11. First and foremost is obviously going to be picture quality. Now, I believe both cameras are pretty equal on this. The DJI had a firmware upgrade after release, and it is now 10-bit color, which is on par with the GoPro 11. So for straight up picture quality, I'm going to give them a tie. In my limited use with the Osmo camera, I have noticed that it does seem to handle the transition from light to dark a little bit better, and it may possibly also process dust in front of me a little bit better, which is important for what I do. Now on to audio. This one's a bit complicated because I think the GoPro with the media mod has very good audio, but that is also an add-on that costs $100. But if you compare the two cameras without any add-ons, the Osmo Action 3 audio is better, and it has a lot less wind noise. Number 3 is stabilization. This is very important for the type of content I put out. GoPro has hyper smooth and the DJI has rock steady. Both functions do stabilization very well. Again, I'm going to give them a tie on this one. Next up is battery life, and this one is not even close. The new white top GoPro batteries do last longer, but in comparison, the DJI batteries last way longer. I've seen tests on these with the DJI batteries lasting up to 26% longer, so that is significant. And a win for the DJI. Last comparison, and it's an important one, is reliability. If you've owned a GoPro camera, you know that they are full of bugs and glitches, and basically it is buy the next one next year and hope it works better. Personally, I think I've spent enough money on GoPros and I have had enough of their issues. I need a camera that I can rely on to work every time, and so far the DJI is that camera.